right, there it is. There's a peek inside the box. So my wife's about 47. She wants to learn wheelies. That's the reason I bought her this Beastmode bike right here. Let me show you what she was riding beforehand. When we got her a BMX bike first, we went to our local store and we got this. This is a 27.5 inch Fairdale. It's solid chromoly, you know, well built, that whole 9 yards, and front and back Odyssey brakes. This bike only has a 2.2 tire. It's pretty narrow. So anyway, she started doing wheelies on this. It needed a gearing change. When your wife wants to learn to ride a wheelie, the first thing crosses my mind while we're riding is I'm thinking, I don't want her to loop out, man. I don't want her to have a first experience the way I had, because she'll never keep it up. But it's a big risk to drop another $900 on something you don't need another third bike, right? Because I've already got two 29-inch SE bikes myself. I love the fat tires, and to me, I feel like the Beastmode is a cheat code. These fat tires make riding wheelies easier. They give a little bit of cushion too for the just relentless wrist banging you're gonna take, giving you a little bit of a cushion. Let's talk about gearing for a second. This is a cog. This is like a freewheel, but not a freewheel. This is the stock 16 tooth cog, this black one. So then I got on the Facebook group, talked to some guys, and they were like, get a 17. So the gold one here is a 17. This red one here is actually a 20. I decided to bump way up to have it match the cog that I'm riding on my Monster Ripper. And this was a 33. This is the stock SE sprocket that came on this bike, and I bumped this down to a 27. So when we first started with the bike, it came stock with a 33 in the front, 16 in the back. We immediately switched it out to a 17, but you know, 17 just didn't cut it either. I didn't think a 17 cut it very well for me. I could get it up, but it wasn't comfortable for some 52-year-old skateboarder knees. And I said, you know what? Let's just bump you straight up from there into a 20. So that's when we end up with the red one. And for me, that seemed perfect. Still, for my wife, a little hard. And you know, I had one guy in a Facebook group once comment to me, yo, dude, it's not about gearing, bro. Stop being a baby. You know, he's one of these dudes. Like, if you're gonna wheelie, you gotta be man enough to do it. Like, first off, I'm talking about my wife. Second off, that's bullshit. Bullshit statement. At some level, it comes down to just having the balls and doing it. But for me, myself, you got to keep yourself doing it. I mean, you might as well start off with the easier gear. I'm gonna drop her on the front sprocket from a stock 33 SE sprocket down to the Ride Out Supply with the reflective paint, black and gold, and I'm gonna take her down to 27. So what do we got? 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. That's like 6 teeth. 6 teeth is a big jump, but I've already come up 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I've already come up 4 teeth in the back. So I'm making some drastic changes for a woman who wants to learn wheelies on an SE bike. So where am I at? I got a 27 in the front and I got a 20-tooth cog in the back. Perfect. Perfect for a girl to learn wheelies. Perfect for an older man to learn wheelies, I think too. I just got on it. It doesn't have a layback seat post. I'm not comfortable on these bikes without a layback seat post. If you got a lady and you want to cut to the chase, that's why I'm making this video. 27 in the front, 20 in the back on a 27.5 Beastmode.
Oh, that was a good one.
There's one. So we're counting half pedals here. The deal with learning wheelies is going slow. Take your time. You basically learn how to ride a bike as you're going. Like I said before, even though we changed out the cog, it's still too hard. When I started day one, Christmas 2 years ago, I was standing up doing it.
Ow, it really hurts my wrists.
Maybe we could let some more air out of the front tire so it's a little more forgiving. I'm gonna let the guys see your progress here. Yeah. So I just ordered some new sprockets. We've been trying to change the cog up a bunch. And I dropped her from a, nice. I dropped her from a 33 in the front to a 27, along with a 20 tooth cog in the back. When you're learning to wheelie, you got to get the easiest gear that somebody can deal with. Because not only is it scary, but there's a lot of muscles you've never used before. Ooh, solid. Yeah, solid 2 there. That looked good. So if you take your time and you go from solid 2s to occasional 3 to solid 3 to occasional 4.
I wasn't even up that high.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's all part of it. That's why you got to take your time. On the trail, first day, new gearing. We got her on a 27 in the front. Shout out Ride Out Supply, and a 20 tooth cog in the back. Let's ask her how it was. How was it?
It was awesome. It's really hard to just ride because I can't pedal very fast anymore. Like
Yeah.
it pedals too fast.
Just
me
for
to-
riding, it's not
Just
ideal.
for riding, it's not ideal, but I've noticed a huge difference in being able to pop it up. I've definitely gotten a solid 2, almost a 3, whereas before it was like maybe 1.
Now, when she says a 2 or a 3, we're talking about each time a foot reaches a forward push.
Yeah.
So a half pedal, a full rotation, no, half pedals. But 2, this is the way we learn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try to do better and take a long time doing it. Progress on this needs to be slowly.
Yeah, because once I got the almost 3 pedals, I got sketched out and I was like, do I keep pedaling? And I got like scared I was gonna flip, even though I was probably barely like this.
Well, and you're able to get it higher now too, so that's a whole new sensation.
Yeah, it's scary. It is
Just
totally-
know that you're not even halfway to the danger zone yet.
It feels like you're higher than
It
you
does.
are.
It
Yeah.
does. And that's why I'm saying just know, because you don't know.
No.
It really takes a big push to
And
get
it's
up
a lot
there.
of things to think about all at once. You got to think like your brake. You got to make sure that your brake is.
Are you able to do it keeping a finger on your brake?
I don't think I've done that yet. I probably could, but it's hard to remember.
So she kind of could get it up with the previous gear, which was it was also a 20 with a 33 in the front, and she was able to get it up occasionally, putting everything into it, but
Too hard.
not enough to use one finger on the brake. So there's a whole lot combined in the situation where we say, you know, let's drop from a 33 down to a 27 20.
I think that once I get good at it, then we can, up the cog, the sprocket. Make it easier for me to cycle.
Yeah, but maybe not for a while.
No. I'd have to be good first, really good.
Yeah, it's such a benefit to learning the wheelie to have your gearing be easy. I think a lot of people think, because I know people gave me a lot of advice saying, no, you want it to be just hard enough that you can just get it up with all your effort. That way you have a gear that's a good riding speed. And I say, no, man, if you're learning wheelies, you need to have the gear being easy, because when you get up to 12 o'clock or closer to 12 o'clock and you start using your brake, you need to be able to learn to recover it. And if the gearing's still hard, I was having difficulty on my bike, my Monster Ripper right there. I was running a 3620 and I dropped it down to a 33, and it was a cheat code for me. It's like all of a sudden I can do this, whereas with the 3620, it was like not quite enough to safely get it back up without potentially like flipping it out. I mean, I have the strength to probably bend the cranks. I think I've definitely pulled something all the way through my back one time, pulling so hard.
Well, and that's coming from two people like us who have like crazy huge quads and strength. So
yeah, very big legs.
So it's not like lack of strength for us.
Yeah.
To be able to pull it up with a
yeah.
with a different gearing.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like so frustrating to feel like I couldn't get any progress.
Yeah.
That's like, it makes you want to feel like you give up before you get good. So this way you can get good,
Yeah.
figure out your braking, and then later on have it more of like a combo wheelie slash ride
Absolutely.
gearing.
Because the brake is going to save your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand what you're talking about. If you live in a super hilly area, then you might be better off. We live in flat
Austin.
We live in Austin, Texas, where it's flat out here, so we'd like to have a little bit larger gear. But you know what? To learn wheelies, it's just not the way you should do it, as far as I'm concerned. And if you're one of those dudes that rides pretty good wheelie, but you can't go blocks, you can't just continue to go forever, it's your gearing. Make the gearing easier, get used to that 12 o'clock thing. And if you're already there, I mean, I think it depends. If you hang out at 12 o'clock all the time, then gearing doesn't really matter because it's all easy when you're straight up. But when you're playing with this, easier gearing is going to help you learn and get more comfortable to getting near 12 o'clock. And I just highly recommend it. Otherwise, you might spend the evening on your back. That's just to end the video. Peace. One thing I realized being a skateboarder, it was better for me to try harder and limit the number of tries because of my knees. As an old skateboarder, my knees were always kind of a little touch and go. So changing the gear to the most ultimate easy gear for you, even though it may not be what you prefer just for riding speeds, until you get used to a wheelie is going to be what you want to do, especially if you're up in the age. I mean, a little kid can keep pushing it until he starts to get it. Same thing goes for adults, but you know, if you can't use your muscles in the proper way to get it up, and you can't do it as long as the kids can, then you got to be careful. Good job, Seth. Go slow. A couple of us have gone down in this tunnel. You know, you don't dare touch your front brake in there. When it's wet, you are going down. I'm kind of uploading this first video to be sort of meet the family for any new subscribers. And my daughter here doesn't have any real interest in learning wheelies yet. She said maybe some surfing variations. Seth hasn't started doing it yet as well. But they all have been riding with no hands for a long time. Yes, sir. Sitting down. Still up. Yeah, nice. This is the gear for you, though. I think we finally found the right beast mode gear for a woman. Well, it happened. The youngster. Yep.